welcome to a very snowy Pennsylvania. It's New Year's Day 2026, and I had an idea yesterday as I was driving home, based on a conversation I had on some web forum about how cheap somebody could do a particular trip in their EV. And my thought was, how much would it cost me to run my car for a year? 2024 Kia EV6 Wind North American Edition, and it's completely paid off. So how much would it cost me to run it, to fuel it, to do absolutely everything? And if you're considering an electric vehicle, you can then think of that cost and go from there. So let me go back to yesterday to show you what the stats were for the car after I returned home from work just after 3 p.m. So it's New Year's Eve 2025, just after 3 p.m. So we have just under 9 hours to go until midnight Eastern. And well, that's just the trip I did from work to home. I am on 1,891 miles. I did charge up over the Christmas period, just before Christmas. I'm still at 93%. Temperature outside, 26 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's around about -3 degrees Celsius. And we'll just see how much it costs for the year. Happy New Year, everyone. Of course, one thing I'll probably not include in the cost analysis, of course, is cleaning the car, because that's going to be the same cost no matter what kind of car I had. January the 10th with the battery at 76%, and I just need to top up the windshield fluid. So there's the cap, let's pop that. Where is the... Oh, there's the bottle. Okay, let's just pull that in. I'll put the cap down off screen, but make sure that that is screwed on tightly and slam down the lid like so. Oh, look, an electric school bus. In the work truck, and there are a lot of Amazon Prime Rivian vans. It's Saturday, January the 17th. It's another snowy day, and currently my car has over half a full charge. So yeah, I don't know if it's over half full or almost half empty. The city's code enforcement vehicles are 100% battery electric. Just passing the local Cadillac dealer, and this is a Fisker Ocean. My God, you don't see many of those in the wild. The New York plates. Wow. It's 4:05 p.m. on Thursday the 22nd, and I'm at 39%, and I am driving to my trusty Electrify America.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto North 7th Avenue.
Thank you for that. Because of the weather we may or may not be getting. So with that in mind, my thought is I should just get this charged up and then do a top up at home.
Turn left onto North 7th Avenue.
And that way, I'll have more energy than less. If the power should go, I'll be able to use the V2L vehicle to load capability of the car and run some electric from this vehicle. At least that's the plan. There are the numbers, 19.4475 kilowatt hours. It would have cost $10.86, but free charge. And of course, if I'd have not had the free thing but paid $7 a month, then obviously 3/4 of $10.86. I'll put everything on screen as I'm going along. I got home, 59%, and I am going to plug her in just to give it a bit of a top up. For my calculations, I'll be using 18 cents per kilowatt hour. Now this thing outputs approximately 1.5 kilowatts per hour, but because it's outputting in AC and the batteries are DC, what's going to happen is it's converting it and it will be around 1 kilowatt per hour that actually goes into the battery. So over 14 hours of charging overnight till tomorrow morning, that's around 20% of the battery, so it should put it up somewhere close to 80%, and then I'll do the same thing again tomorrow evening when I get back on Friday evening, and that will then just get me to 100% on Saturday morning.
Charging started.
Beautiful, let's get in. Okay, after 14 and quite a lot hours, 14 hours, 50 minutes and counting, 22.14 kilowatt hours. So let's give that a bit of a stop. And let's hang this up here. There we go. So that's it. That's it hasn't registered that it's stopped yet. So you see it will do. So let's count it as 22.15. There we are. One good thing about coming downhill to work is that, as you see now, it just went down from 187 to 161. It was at 200 and something. If the weather is slightly warmer than 26 degrees Fahrenheit minus 3 degrees Celsius, if it were a summer's day, then that would show 999. I get very close to generating more electricity coming down the hill than when I go up. But on the way home from work, on a decent day, I get 1.5, 1.6 miles per kilowatt hour. And on cold days like this, I get 1.1, maybe 1 mile per kilowatt hour. And as you see, the longer I have this off and the battery management is lightly wearing underneath me, the more the miles per kilowatt hour fails. So let's turn everything off and leave the car. Actually, I didn't do too bad. I actually got 1.5 miles a kilowatt hour. Well, let's see what the weekend brings us as far as snow. Filled it up last night to 81%. Used till 80%. Getting to work and back, and as you see, we're just going to charge it to 100. Not long after plugging in, my wife is correct, with the temperature tonight going to be around 0 Fahrenheit, minus 18 Celsius. There's going to be a great deal of load for heating on the grid. So at 1.02, I am disconnecting. 1.022-ish. Even though it's disconnected, so it does this thing, and there we go. Hey puppy. Over a foot of snow. Work was cancelled because I didn't get the stuff plowed out, so I'm running some errands in the snow. Mustang Mach-E, very nice. You know, it's probably going to be quicker if I just do a summary of when I charge and the costs, because otherwise this video is going to be 2 hours long for the year. Sod it. It is, let me show the watch, 12:35 p.m. on the Saturday, February the 7th, and we just had a power fluctuation where the power went out and back on again. So I have gone and lost how many kilowatt hours were delivered. I plugged in at 31%. I'm getting up to 100% for the weekend. So I'll quickly put on the screen what I'm currently up to, and I can use past calculation to work out how much electricity, as far as cost, at 18 cents a kilowatt hour was used. Saturday has turned into Sunday. It is at 1:10 in the morning on the 15th, and 47.38 kilowatt hours delivered over a 32-hour period, and 1 minute and 0 seconds, and it's now not charging anymore. So 100% charge. Lovely. It's March the 26th at lunchtime, and although I do have 36% of my battery, we might be going out this weekend. I could have gone the entire month of March without charging, but I figure I'll just take this up to about 80%. See you when I've finished. Oh yeah, this is the one with the flicky screen. I'd say 83% is enough. I've been here for the better part of my lunch hour. As you see, it says 0 charged, but of course what we do is we factor that into how much it's cost so far for the year. So I'll be adding $21.95 on if I'd have had to have paid for it, and also I'll be converting the 39.24 kilowatt hours into the efficiency of a home charger and adding that price as well. So the three prices are how much I've actually paid because I get free charging, how much I've paid if I'd have had to have paid for the 2 DC fast chargers so far in the year, and how much I would have paid if all my charging was done at home at 18 cents a kilowatt hour. Thursday, April the 9th, it's about 7:42 in the morning. I started the car just a little bit earlier. You can see the little coil on the battery thing. It's a bit low because we did quite a lot of running around at the weekend, so I figured I would get it nicely topped up before I go to work. It's a cold morning. It's about 0 degrees Celsius, 32 degrees Fahrenheit. And I made sure with the battery preconditioning that at least I'm getting some speed. Now obviously if I'd have preconditioned it for longer, it would be getting faster speed, but this is plenty fast for what I need. Yeah, just shy of 8 o'clock in the morning, and I've just gone and reached 200. Oh, it just went below again. There you go. 200 kilowatts. Nicely, nicely. Toasty battery. I'm just sitting here reading the internet, and I'm already at 85%. And yeah, it's only going to take me about 7-8 minutes to drive to work, and I start at 8:30. So you know what? Yeah, let's unplug. The flicky screen. Here we go. 44.4 on the dot kilowatt hours, 20 minutes and 54 seconds, but free. It would have cost $24.86. So I will now pan away and let's put on the screen how much the current total is if I'd paid for the EA, how much with the free stuff I do have that I use today, and how much if I'd have charged 100% from home since the beginning of the year. Just finished doing some gardening. I plugged in when I got home, as you see, 2 hours 54, so almost 3 hours ago, which makes sense because it's almost 8 o'clock in the evening. There's the evening. And 4.277. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this out. 4.277 kilowatt hours added from there to however much it does to get into the car, but 4.277. So what I will do now on screen is put in how much I have actually paid, including the freebies at Electrify America, how much it would have cost me if I'd have had to have paid for Electrify America, and finally, if 100% of my charging was done at home, which is a more realistic amount, how much that would be. All right, let me go to the shop and get the milk. I went for the milk. Blurry vision. Put milk there, that's fine. I did pop that open. Let's grab this handle here. And let's just put it in there. And that is how easy it is to charge a car. And now I'm taking the milk into the house, closing the garage door. So as you see, it's the last day of April and I'm just on my way home from work. I've got this up on the display because it shows that for over 1,500 miles, which I've driven over a period of more than 75 hours, my fuel efficiency is 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So for any calculations I will be using, 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour for the efficiency of the vehicle. The house electricity is 18 cents a kilowatt hour, and the charger charges at, well, I'm putting 80%. Various scientific papers have put the charger as being somewhere in the 80s for a level 1 charger, so I'm going to put it as 80. So that is 4 months of driving and charging with the costs. So let's go inside. Let's put the final charge that I did to get myself up. As you see, I'm at 95%. So very close to what I was on New Year's Eve. And yeah, let's see how cheap it was to run this electric vehicle. In fact, you know what? No, let's do this outside because it's such a beautiful day here in early May. Okay, so my last charging session at home was April the 25th at the weekend. I added 37.03 kilowatt hours, which at 18 cents a kilowatt hour, my home rate adds $6.67 to the totals. Now, just to point out, 18 cents a kilowatt hour, more than the national average, and that's all day. If I had a plan where I could have off-peak rates, I'd be getting better prices. More on that later. So the 3 prices that I've been doing through the video, and it's the third one that's most important to people that are thinking of getting a car for themselves. With the free EA charging, I actually spent $24.42 on home electricity and nothing at EA, charging the car for 4 months. If I had paid 56 cents a kilowatt hour at Electrify America, that's $82.10. By the way, I've got all this written down here, so it's off camera, don't worry about it. And if 100% of my charging was done at home, then this is the important thing, for 4 months of travel, and this is a little under 100 miles a month, so it's around 400 miles for $47.59. That's for a short commute and for running around about 100 miles a month. Now, as I said, 18 cents a kilowatt hour, and the charger in the garage, because it's level 1, is around 80% efficient, because, you know, it has to convert AC to DC. There's the battery management, the fan would be running to make sure that the ICCU in the car wasn't getting overloaded, technical stuff. With all that, that means that to put 1 kilowatt hour into the battery cost me around 22.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Now, efficiency for the last 1,500 miles plus, I have a trip that I haven't pressed reset on since I did that trip to Scroon Lake in the summer. That video is also on the channel. I've been averaging 3.1 miles per kilowatt hour. So if you want to divide that by the 22.5 cents, that's 7.258 cents per mile. Think about how much it's costing you per mile in your gasoline / petrol car. But that includes this whole period of winter where I had it in snow mode, where the regen was less, where it was in all-wheel drive and the ratio was tinkered with so I had better grip on the snow. Since the last time I actually charged, and I've just been running to and from work and doing a few errands, in the spring it's 3.5 miles per kilowatt hour, which if you divide that by the 22.5 cents is 6.4285 cents per mile, under 6.5 cents per mile. So not only was the more expensive amount because it was winter, I'm not in a flat area. You can see the hill behind me, and yeah, this is a mountainous area. It's part of the Appalachian Mountains, and so there's an awful lot of going to work and getting 999 miles per kilowatt hour, and then coming home, and on a good day when it's not snowing, only getting 1.6 or so, and when it was snowy, 1 mile per kilowatt hour. Comparing that to a gasoline car, first of all, I'm going to compare it to premium gas, because my car does 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. If you want to compare that to any internal combustion engine vehicle, you've got to be really amping up the pressure inside the engine. That's premium fuel. And what is the cost of premium fuel?
$5.31.9.
Okay, $5.31.9 per gallon. So if you divide that by the 7.258 or the 6.4285 cents per mile to get the miles per gallon equivalent, it comes out to between 73.25, including the horrible winter, or now in the spring, 82.75 miles per gallon in a car that can outpace a Ferrari Testarossa in a quarter mile, which is pretty good. Now, even if you were to calculate that using just regular fuel, which, as you saw from when I showed you, you know, how much the fuel was, it was $4.35.9 a gallon. So that's 82% the cost of premium. So that's still 60 to 75, 60 to 67, almost 68 miles per gallon in a car that can go as fast as it can go. And occasionally I do like to try that out when the traffic light goes green. So it's a short commute. It's mountains going up and down. It's that efficient. When I had my sedan, it was an older car. It wasn't the most efficient because it was a Subaru. It was always in all-wheel drive. I was spending around $20 a week on regular fuel, which with the price increases that have happened, that's closer to $30 a week now if I had to pay for that. So obviously with the improved fuel economy of an electric, I'm saving money. Plus, because of the regen braking, which puts power in when I'm going down hills, I'm hardly using brakes, if at all. There are instances of people that have gone tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of miles in an EV, never had to use their brakes. Don't need to replace an exhaust. Don't need to have regular oil changes. Those all add up. So if you're trying to do the mathematics as to whether or not an electric car is right for you, just to let you know that on CarMax recently, an identical model to mine, 2024 Kia EV6 Wind all-wheel drive, was going for $30,000. And I know that's quite an awful lot of a dive when it comes to depreciation on a vehicle, but you only have to worry about depreciation if you buy new and you're intending to sell soon. If you're going to keep using the car and you're getting worth out of it because you're getting use out of it, depreciation isn't entering the equation in your life at all. So now you know the mathematics. In semi-decent weather, I'm getting, 82 3/4 miles per gallon, because at the current price of fuel, I'm spending less than 6.5 cents a mile. And that's with my rate of electricity. If there were a plan that had cheaper off-peak, and that off-peak went to 6 cents a kilowatt hour instead of the 18 I'm paying now, then instead of being over 80 miles per gallon, my car would be getting the equivalent of 240 miles per gallon. I'm not going to tell you to get one. I'm just telling you that I'm glad I got one, and I'm not going back to an internal combustion engine car, and it really is that much cheaper. So I've been Sean. Thank you for watching the Silver EV, and as always, stay fresh cheese bags. Fade to black.